Right, everyone, let's make a start. Over the past few sections, we've been considering the reasons why some world languages are in decline, and today I'm going to introduce another factor that affects languages and the speakers of those languages, and that's technology, and in particular, digital technology. In order to illustrate its effect to illustrate its effect, I'm going to focus on the Icelandic language, which is spoken by around 321,000 people, most of whom live in Iceland and an island in an island in the North Atlantic Ocean. The problem for this language is not the number of speakers, even though this number is small, nor is it about losing words to another languages such as English. In fact, the vocabulary of Icelandic is continually increasing because of when speakers need a new word for something, they tend to create one rather than borrowing from another language. All this makes Icelandic quite a special language. It's changed very little in the past millennium, yet it can handle 21st century concepts related to the use of computers and digital technology. Take, for example, the word for web browser. This is vatri in Icelandic, which comes from the verb to wander. I can't think of a more appropriate term because that's exactly what you do mentally when you browse the internet. Then there's an Icelandic word for postcards, which is too hard to pronounce, and so on. Icelandic then is alive and growing, and is a big but young Icelanders spend a great deal of time in a digital world, and this world is predominantly English. Think about smartphones. They didn't even exist until comparatively recently. But today, young people use them all the time to read books, watch TV or films, play games, listen to music, and so on. Obviously, this is a good thing in many respects because it promotes their bilingual skills, but the extent of the influence of English in the virtual world is staggering, and it's so happening really fast. For their parents and grandparents, the change is less concerning because they already have their native speaker skills in Icelandic. But for young speakers, well, the outcome is a little troubling. For example, teachers have found that playground conversations in Icelandic secondary schools can be conducted entirely in English, while teachers of much younger children have reported situations where their classes find it easier to say what is in a picture using English rather than Icelandic. The very real and worrying consequence of all this is that the young generation in Iceland is at risk of losing its mother tongue. Of course, this is happening to other European languages too, but while internet companies might be willing to offer, say, French options in their systems, it's much harder for them to justify the expense of doing the same for a language that has a population the size of a French town, such as Nice. The other drawback of Icelandic is the grammar, which is significantly more complex than in most languages. At the moment, the tech giants are simply not interested in tackling this. So, what is the Icelandic government doing about this? Well, large sums of money are being allocated to a language technology fund that it is hoped will lead to the development of Icelandic sourced apps and other social media and digital systems. But clearly, this is going to an uphill struggle. On the positive side, they know that Icelandic is still the official language of education and government, that it has survived for well over 1,000 years, and the experts predict that its future in this nation state is sound and will continue to be so. However, there's no doubt that it's becoming an inevitable second choice in young people's lives. This raises important questions. When you consider how much of the past is tied up in a language, when young Icelanders lose their sense of their own identity. Another issue that concerns the government of Iceland is this. If children are learning two languages through different routes, neither of which they are fully fluent in, will they be able to express themselves properly? Is it good for a kid to be ambitious? Yes and no. On one hand, children can have their own targets at a very young age, so they might learn so hard and worked for their targets. But on the other hand, they might forget many aspects of their lives. They cannot focus on entertainment at their young age. What kinds of games are popular among young children nowadays? I can say that competitive games are very well known among young generation. They can organize some competitions, and they compete to each other, win some sum of money. Why should parents encourage their children to play games? Sometimes the children can play games. Through games, they develop their imagination, their creativity, and even problem-solving skills. Which is better, individual games or team-based games? It's hard to say which one is better. Individual games help children or players improve their personal decision making choices. But team-based games that require a lot of teamwork spirit help players to cooperate with the other members in the team. So maybe in real life they can cooperate with others well. What benefits does public transport bring to the world? Well, public transport can ease the environmental problems such as air pollution in mega cities. When people choose public transport to travel, they eliminate private vehicles. Through that, they can even save the energy like fuel and it help the environment get better. Is it too late for people to get a driver's license at the age of 18? In my opinion, 18 is a suitable age that allow people to get a driver's license, because at that time they can take responsibility. No, they can take the response for all actions they make, and it's not too late. What's the difference between men's and women's preference for cars? As far as I know, men seem to choose sporty cars that have powerful engines and have great speed, but women prefer to buy some cars that can be so practical in mega cities. They use the small cars and they go around the city, and they can buy some stuff when they go shopping. What are the differences between bicycles and private cars? Bicycle and private cars are two types of transport, but bicycles are more friendly with environment, and private cars generate more fumes. I think bicycles require user much more effort. They use bicycle to improve their health, and private cars that help them to get the destination quicker. Describe a sport you enjoy to watching. You should say, what sports programs do you like to watch? When you watch it, who do you watch it? Who do you watch with? And explain why you like watching it. I am really into watching people swimming. I don't know exactly, but I think I feel the water environment, and I like watching people who are trying to win. Normally, I enjoy the moment alone. I don't know exactly, but when I watch or I see competition in water, I feel that okay, it's more exciting and attractive.